Dr. Sangeeta Sahi, we've been talking a lot about sustainability practices. Why does it feel like they're out of balance right now?
The classic principles of sustainability from a practical and functional perspective, they've always been based on three driving pillars, and these pillars are economy, society, and the environment. Now, these principles, they're also informally known as profit, people, and planet. Classically, in the field of sustainability, they're called the three Ps. But now we've got another principle that's really pushing and having a very tangible, or we're becoming far more aware of its influence, and that's the principle of diversity. So when we add diversity into the equation, then it becomes apparent that the relationship between profit, people, and planet needs to be completely reworked and relooked at. The planet classically has always come last, which ultimately obviously affects people and profit too. So the present applications of sustainability principles is actually resulting in unsustainability for the whole.
Guiding principles for the Unified Human Foundation?
So the Unified Human Foundation is a non-profit organization, and it's actually very simply based around supporting NGOs which facilitate projects and initiatives which unify human beings with nature, and through those projects and initiatives with each other. So it's based on three platforms, and the first platform is technologies, which is clean air technologies, clean water technologies, waste management, recycling, and marine culture and aquaculture technologies. The second platform is health. And health, we are really kind of focusing on mental health issues, which is a very major issue globally right now. And with that, we're looking at addressing mental health with more natural remedies, such as Ayurveda or herbs or nutrition, lifestyle changes, behavioral changes, especially looking at de-addiction. And then we have the third platform, which is education and awareness. And in that, we are looking to implement simple digital technologies, which we can incorporate into existing systems in schools, in the rural areas, to really minimize the gap between the haves and the have-nots. So where the urban populations have and the rurals just don't have access to resources, we have access to that, and we're implementing those, as well as looking at creating huge awareness globally about cultural and community sustainability with our filmmaking projects and educational tools.
These just aren't theories for you. You actually have successful projects that are out there that have done the work to unify the PPPs. Can you tell us about some of the projects you're proud of?
Yes, there's one NGO that is like a fantastic model because they really fit the full criteria of the Unified Human Foundation. And that's an NGO in India. It's founded out of India, called HRDS India. And they're an NGO providing tribal communities with housing. They were founded in the southernmost state of India, which is Kerala, and now they've expanded into other parts of India as well as Africa. This particular state, Kerala, it's got many different tribal communities which were living in a very basic housing conditions. So this wonderful NGO, which has been working for over 20 years, they designed and they build and they give these families completely eco-friendly housing. The houses are designed to be in harmony with the environment, with climate, and with the land that they are built on. So they've been made elephant-proof as well. Now these tribal communities, they have about 5,000 acres of their own land, and the NGO has brought in skilled experts to help them cultivate medicinal plants on this land. They'll be showing them how to plant, how to cultivate, and how to harvest these plants. And at the same time, they've also made agreements, the NGOs made agreements with companies to purchase the herbs once they've been harvested. And they'll be used in food, in cosmetic, and in medicinal herbal products. And this is very much a real-time application of a circular economic model. So it's not conceptual, it's implemented, it works. It was actually founded on the universal principles given in ancient Ayurveda. The ancient Ayurveda model is actually about leading a thriving and sustainable life. So Ayurveda means the knowledge of life. And Ayurveda, it's really the most original, the most comprehensive, the most complete model of universal, of planetary and human life sustainability. Now, the model unifies art and science in nature, and it elevates that whole to the level of sacredness. So Ayurveda's multidimensional aspects, they clarify the scientifically validated connections between harvesting, between farming, between the solar and the moon cycles, between the circadian rhythms and their influences on earth elements and the earth's water bodies and oceans. So when we learn to put nature first and the way that she functions and work with her to support her natural rhythms and life flows, of course, we as the human species thrive and prosper too. I think we need to reconnect with the planet. We need to align our rhythms with hers. We need close physical projects with her. We need to work with her to understand how she works and functions. And in that way, we begin a new relationship with her. And I really believe that right now, we're beginning a new chapter. And we've got a new opportunity for how Earth and the human can relate with each other. And I really feel that our oceans, they are calling us, urging us to learn about the oceans themselves, because we know very, very little about the oceans compared to how much we know about the land. And I think the oceans are changing too. So we need to engage with communities who have perhaps, developed with the oceans and learn from them how to live in harmony and respect with the oceans. And we also need to view some of these practices through the lens of Ayurveda, because we need to support cooperatives with projects working directly with the oceans, using technologies which are designed, specifically taking into account how the ocean operates, rather than how we humans think that the ocean should operate. And I think then we can cultivate, harvest her bounty, and look at how to use some of the materials that are naturally created, algae, seaweed, minerals, plankton, etc., in a way that doesn't deplete her, and that allows her to be more diverse and to be more creative and to thrive. So I think also that we need to look at these natural materials that already exist and think about what we can do with them rather than synthesizing more. Look, the oceans are still unknown territories for us, and now is the time we must be aware and conscious of how we treat them. We can learn not to make the same mistakes with our oceans as we have with our lands. I firmly believe that we are guests on this planet. We don't come here to stay. This planet Earth does not belong to us. And in order to have made a positive contribution to our stay while we're here, we have an obligation to leave her in a better state than when we arrived.